Hey, what's up? I'm Marty Schwartz with NextLevelGuitar.com for all your guitar needs. I'm just exhausted from all the guitar teaching, so I'm going to talk about this guitar amp that I've got here. It's a 65 reissue Fender Deluxe Reverb. I know that's a big title there, but basically it's the amp I use for almost everything I do, except big gigs. What I mean, like a big band gig, would probably be the only situation where I wouldn't use this amp. So in other words, I use this amp when I teach lessons. It's got 4 separate guitar inputs, which is actually really cool. A lot of guitar amps only have 1 input. So with this one having 4 separate inputs, sometimes I give group lessons, and 4 different students can all plug in and at least be able to hear their guitar. I mean, you don't have independence in the volumes and tone controls from all those inputs, but it's a pretty cool thing to have 4 different guitars plugged into the same amp, just for the convenience of it. Now it's a 65 reissue, so what that means is it's got it's based on an old technology. It's an all-tube amp, which is going to give you that vintage tone, and it's great for the blues and rock. It gives you a real warmth that you might not get with like a solid state amp that you would buy that's a modern amp. Some of the features that I really like about this, for one, it's for the output you get, it's really light. Okay, so for instance, I have to go to different rehearsals, give different guitar lessons. I'm jumping around. I got to show up at David Taub's place, studio or whatever to do some stuff, and then I'm running off to practice with a band. So for that, it's nice and compact, fits in my car, and it's light. I can just grab it and carry it in, as opposed to some big beefy. For instance, the amp that I use for bigger gigs, I use a twin. And those things are so heavy. I mean, it's kind of a hassle, but you get that. It's just a bigger sound, for the larger kind of venues. But this amp here gives me really lush, warm tone at a little bit lower volumes than a twin would. And so when I do some gigs, I do, like, let's say with one other guitar player, like a duo type of gig. I just can't think of a better amp to use than this one. It's 22 watts, and that's for a tube amp, that's actually pretty good. And so when you start to crank this amp, maybe past 6 or 7, it starts to break up. It starts to give you a little bit of that kind of grit, a little bit of that natural tube distortion. Now it doesn't have a distortion channel on it. It's literally just one setting that you can crank or lower. So what I do is I have a pedal board. I have a lot of different effects that I use, but I just want to give you an idea. I've got this full tone OCD overdrive pedal, and I've got it running through this amp right now. So anyway, I'm going to give you an idea of what that sounds like. So all of a sudden, I've got kind of a thrashy, distorted sound, and it's just tasty. And then I can go right into more of a soft kind of jazzy sound. I can actually, it's got a delicious reverb in here. I can just turn the reverb up a little bit and you can hear a whole different side. On this guitar, if I go to the back pickup and turn the reverb up even more, I mean, this is a reissue amp, so it does have kind of a nice kind of vintage Thank you very much. Okay, so for an amp like this, though, it's the price range. I mean, I think it's worth it, but we're talking about the $800 range. You could, probably if you searched around, you could find one maybe in the high sevens, but we're talking about probably about $850 for an amp like this. But just to outline my favorite things about it are the fact that it's light. For a tube amp, it's light. It gives me enough output for rehearsals and most situations. And like I said, the only time I really don't use it is in a bigger venue. But even then, it's actually really, sometimes I use 2 amps, and I might use this one turned up all the way, and instead of having a distortion pedal, I might use this amp cranked all the way and have that basically be my overdrive channel, and then I'd use my Fender Twin at a nice clean level, and then I have a A/B switch to switch between them, and when this thing's at 11, it's beefy and gives you just drives the tube, so it gives you an amazing blast of tube tone. So anyway, well, just wanted to remind you again, at nextlevelguitar.com, we have a lot of goodies for you to check out. So if you sign our mailing list here, you'll get access to a lot of free content that's not available on YouTube, and to further your guitar journey. It's a great service that Next Level provides. So hopefully you want to dive deeper into this whole world here of guitar education. I'm Marty Schwartz, and it's been a pleasure talking about some of my gear, and hope to see you next time.